It is a weekend episode of Journalists Hangout. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Dapo Aruajoe, your Friday host. The last has not been heard of the Kogi State governorship election, especially from the camp of the All Progressives Congress. Since the death of his candidate, Abubakar Audu, both APC and PDP won the electoral body to declare them winner of the November 21 poll. And meanwhile, it was an ecstatic atmosphere for everyone present at the governor's office in Lagos today when Governor Akinwumi Ambode did what many has described as an unprecedented act in tackling insecurity in Lagos State. These are the issues on our radar, so if you're ready, let the hangar start now. It's been self-claims from the two major political parties in Kogi State following the non-declaration of the winner of the governorship election by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Both parties have called on INEC to declare its candidate winner of the governorship poll, although it is not clear yet what the All Progressives Congress are up to, and major stakeholders have divergent views on the issue. But we ask, should Faleke go ahead and wear the cap of his late principal? One. And was it right for Wada to have approached the court to be declared winner since his opponent is deceased? That's two. And should INEC conduct a fresh election between Wada and whoever APC presents as his new governorship candidate? That's three. And or should INEC just go on with the supplementary election to produce a clear winner among the two parties? A whole lot of questions that have straightforward questions. And let me go to my gentlemen that have any Olukotun. Thank you very much for being part of the program.
It's a pleasure being here again. Good evening, viewers.
And also Tunde Abaton.
It's a pleasure being here.
It's nice hanging out with you too. And Cyril Abaku, thank you very much for being around also.
It's a pleasure. Good evening, viewers.
Let me start with these main questions I have here. The first one, was it right for Wada to have approached the court to be declared winner since his main opponent is deceased? I'm talking about Audu now.
I was surprised when I read that yesterday, that the PDP candidate that was roundly defeated, in an election that is adjudged as one of the best in the history of that state. The electoral, election history in Kogi State. It always comes with bloodshed and all that. We saw something peaceful, that there was no life was lost. There were minimal cases of ballot snatching and all that. And for the PDP candidate who could not even go to the burial of his, of his rival because he was bereaved in Kobe following his. His crushing defeat. Now he woke up all of a sudden to, to claim a mandate that is not his. I haven't heard this before. And I was like, now is it that anything could not happen in our polity? That because for political exigency or for anything, people can just come up. I think we really need to get serious, and we should stop making ourselves a laughing stock in the international community. But when people look at things that you have been defeated, you didn't cry, you didn't say, you are not even, because he is not the only candidate in that election.
Yes.
There are other 21 others.
Is the runner-up is after, thereabout after.
Then what kind of interpretation will you give to that? Is that not wicked? When you have been defeated, let's even say for the sake of this discussion, that give him the remaining vote and let's see what will happen. If you give all the votes to him, he wouldn't meet up.
Okay.
And you said they should declare you. What kind? I don't know this.
Let me get you don't know this. Let me get to this pause on this. He said he's the only winner that has the highest vote. The one with the highest vote that is alive. So he has the right to go to court. Or what do you think?
Well, I think let us at this point in time we have to look at two issues. We have to raise the death of the incoming governor midway into the election has raised two issues that we have to tackle in Nigeria. That is, we have to look at the necessity for invoking another doctrine of necessity. That doctrine that was done when President Yar'Adua died in state, and his vice was proclaimed as the acting president, pending the time of his recovery or death. But now that the election was ongoing, the election was inconclusive, according to INEC, I think it is pure mischief on the part of the governor that was defeated to now come through the back door to ask for a mandate that was not given to him by the people of Kogi State in the first instance. I think what we have to do is that I think INEC should have consulted Wiley before making that pronouncement, asking APC to present another candidate. Yes, you can rely on the issue of law, but this thing has never happened. It has no precedent in the history of Nigeria. And it is for political expediency. I think INEC should have declared the APC, because it was the political parties that contested the election, not WADA or Ahudu. So to have declared the APC candidate, the winner, the APC as a party, the winner of that election, and proceed forthwith to swear in the party that got the highest vote. Well, with that one, as the case may be, let us only look at the APC as a political party. They also have to invoke their own doctrine of necessity. And that doctrine is predicated on the fact that you have a lot of people angling for that post before that thing. And your man died midway to the election, when the election was not inconclusive. I think it behoves on them not to allow any of those people who are contested with Audu to even seek
in the primaries.
In the primaries at all.
Why?
I think they should have gone ahead to move either the deputy up to be because so far it was the candidate that was voted for. That process is still on.
We'll definitely prefer solutions. I'll come to you, Annie. But let me ask the same question. He said, is the only candidate alive that has the highest vote? Is Captain Wada making sense there?
Captain Wada's call is after the fact. Because if you look at the proceedings in this particular case, you know that after the elections were declared inconclusive, the lacuna became very, very clear in the eyes of everyone. What is the next step forward? The candidate is dead. The elections have been declared inconclusive. The constitution does not have teeth to bite. The Electoral Act is also lame. What do we do? And you saw that there was a flurry of interpretations. People trying to, like he said, invoke different doctrines of necessity, you know. And mind you, because Nigeria is highly political in nature, because we are a highly political nation, every interpretation had its own political leaning. I will come to that later. So you look at the fact that, well, I mean, if we stretch this argument too far, it looks as if somebody is trying to dance on the grave of another person. Assuming that Governor Wada had come third or fourth in the, would you have said they should swear in? That's why I have my point of departure. But you know, so when we try to take out the strands in this quagmire, what comes to mind is that, you know, instead of someone who didn't, because anybody whom the APC brings down to come and take Governor late the late Audu's place is going to inherit something he didn't fight for, something he didn't work for, and someone who, very principally speaking, in a democracy, did not enjoy popular support. That is an issue for me. I think that, you know, as we move forward, we will see. Quite all right, Governor Wada, you know, was voted for, but like they said, even if we are to give him the additional votes that are going to come from 91 polling units, it still will measure up to anything. If you have lost an election, you have lost. They call by the PDP that, you know, their candidate shoes. I think what we rather should have been looking at was the Attorney General's brief to INEC really consistent with the law or not? We can be looking at that, but to say that because you came second you should be sworn in sounds a bit selfish to me.
So he has no case?
It does not have a case. It is after the fact and it is selfish.
Okay, we'll go to the number one question. I had to leave that deliberately. The number one question is, should we ask Afaleke to go ahead and wear the cap of his late principal?
Yes, of course. You know, is the heir apparent, you know, to this mandate? You see, I have taken time to listen to all the interpretations, you know, and some of them I could say without any fear of contradiction that they are highly jaundiced. Now, you will hear someone saying that, okay, because now we have to be very mindful of the kind of words we use there. That election wasn't stopped midway. That election was not inconclusive. You know, I smell a great mischief in the pronunciation of INEC last Sunday. That an election that it was very clear to everyone. You were receiving all the votes. People were coming up to actually give. The returning officer collating officer were giving results. And all of a sudden, you now told us that an election that even if you are looking at the margin, talking about the votes and all those things, okay, give it to the runner-up. We wouldn't have been in this impasse. As the case may be.
If INEC had done that.
Yes, of course.
You have to be careful
now, yes, no. The case is not. The case is not yet in court. I think I can speak. I'm free to actually speak on all this. Now, and what the call of Mr. Faleke yesterday, that is to say, I want APC as a party to align with that thought, because what you should have done is that you should approach court and say declare us as winner of this election. Not even calling for a supplementary election. So you think Faleke, not the AGF saying that they should replace or whatever. Faleke is the governor in waiting in Kogi State. As far as I'm concerned, he's the one.
Even the lawyers are working. His lawyers are working. And Wale Olanipekun, one of his lawyers, has been speaking. But let's take a listen to this report and we get a clearer picture of what is happening.
James Faleke, in a letter dated November the 26th and addressed to INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, insisted that under Section 187 of the 1999 Constitution, he was duly elected as Deputy Governor of Kogi State. While expressing sadness over the demise of his principal, Abubakar Audu, the Deputy Governorship candidate said INEC had no right under the law to declare the election inconclusive. He accused INEC of deliberately creating what he called legal conundrum and not the APC not to be a party to the action. Faleke stated through his counsel Wale Olanipekun that in law and logic, no candidate can inherit or be a beneficiary of the vote already cast, counted and declared by INEC before that candidate was nominated and purportedly sponsored. Olanipekun said, and I quote, assuming without conceding that INEC is even right to order supplementary election, the vote already cast, counted, and declared on Saturday, November the 25th, 2015, your vote for the joint constitutional ticket of Prince Abubakar Audu and our client. Therefore, no new or supplementary candidate can hijack, aggregate, appropriate, or inherit the said vote. End of quote. In another letter to APC Chairman John Oyegun, Faleke urges party to distance itself from the Greek gift being offered to it to nominate a new candidate for a planned supplementary election in 91 polling units. He said the election had already been won and lost, and that the party should rather support him in actualizing the mandate given to the APC and its candidates.
Welcome back. We're still looking at the quagmire in Kogi election. You know what that listened to that struck me in that report is that Faleke is saying that APC should not receive a Greek gift from INEC.
Well, like I said the other time, during his lifetime, Chief Obafemi had an aversion for primaries for one reason. The primary has a way of dividing or causing ripples within parties. That was why he settled for consensus building among the major plans in any of the states, like Ogun, Lagos, that look, come around in all the senatorial zones and agree on who should take it now and later. But when you now look at the fact of the matter now, like I said, it calls for the adoption of a doctrine of necessity by any of the parties, especially the APC. By asking a neutral person that had no contribution whatsoever to the election process to come and inherit that thing is akin to asking a dead man to rise up from the grave and inherit what does not belong to him. I think what the APC should do is to have elevated the deputy governor who actually campaigned and was part of a joint ticket. It was a joint ticket. You cannot sever the head from the tail. You cannot sever Faleke from Audu at this particular point in time. Both of them owe the force, the 240,000 votes that were given to them. So
and there's a place in the constitution for that.
Yep, and it is incumbent on the APC. This is the biggest challenge for the APC as a party for consensus building among the different stakeholders. I quite appreciate that in a